A couple more examples of dividing fractions, bringing in our variable, making sure we're working still with our integers, our negative numbers, but this time we're multiplying a whole number times a fraction, or dividing it by a fraction. We'll end up multiplying it. So we want to work through these and just make sure, again, same concept as in our multiplication videos when we're dealing with whole numbers and variables. So first of all, when we see this division sign, we should automatically say, oh, I got to change that second one, okay? Or I got to cross multiply. I got to remember I go up and then down, or down and then up. Okay, so just as soon as you see that division sign with fractions, you want to remember that first step, okay? So we're really just multiplying. We can rewrite this, if you want to, as 10 over a, and then this would just become, instead of a division sign, a multiplication sign. So 5 times 10 equals 50, and 8 times a, well, we don't know what a is, so 8 times a is just 8 times a, just 8a. But can we reduce this? We can. And so if you're doing it with a calculator, you can obviously write all your factors. 50 has, quite a few factors to write out. But if you're doing this, an easy way for me to do it is just to see if they're both even and then divide by 2. And you might have to divide by 2 one more time, and that's okay. In this instance, we should be good though. So what I'm going to do is divide each of these numbers, the constant and the coefficient, and I'm going to divide them by 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And our a just kind of tags along for the ride. So this right here, 25 over 4 would be the answer that we could leave it in. Again, even though that number on top, the numerator, is greater than the bottom, we're okay with improper fractions for algebra. So you can just leave it like this. You don't need to put it in a mixed number. Now what about our whole number? So if we have our whole number, remember every whole number can be turned into a fraction by adding that obelisk and the 1 underneath, okay? So add our fraction bar and the 1, and then we can go ahead and do our keep, change, flip, or we can do our cross multiplication, so whichever you prefer. So we know that we're going to end up doing multiplication, so I'm going to go ahead and just do cross multiply for this one just to demonstrate. So negative 5 times 2 is going to be a negative 10, and then 1 times 1 just equals 1. A negative 10 divided by 1, or negative 10 over 1, just equals a negative 10. So if you leave it like this on a quiz or an exam, because it's not in lowest terms, you would get marked wrong for it. So just remember, we always want to put in lowest terms. And writing it as a whole number, if it can be written as a whole number, would definitely be the lowest term you can put it in. So we don't have to put in mixed numbers. We don't have to do that. But if it can be written just as a whole number by itself, we want to look for that and not leave it as a fraction if it doesn't have to be left that way.